There are many fun cartoons we love to watch. However, some of our favorite childhood shows are actually hiding very dark secrets. Today, we will look at disturbing forgotten cartoons that should never be shown to kids and find out the shocking truth behind them. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay safe. The first cartoon we will talk about is The Ren and Stimpy Show. As innocent as this cartoon sounds, it is actually extremely inappropriate for children. I actually remember watching this show when I was younger, but I had no idea how messed up it really was. This show aired on Nickelodeon from 1991 to 1995, which means millions of kids were watching content they should never have seen. Let me tell you why this cartoon is so disturbing, Clouds. The Ren and Stimpy Show was created to look like a fun kids cartoon, but it was secretly filled with violence and adult content. The main character, Ren, would brutally beat up other characters with baseball bats and oars. There were scenes of graphic violence that were so bad, many episodes got banned from ever airing again. But wait, it gets even worse. The creators of the show actually made an adult version called Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. This version had naked women and inappropriate shower scenes. The scary part is that some of this adult content accidentally made it into the kids' version too. Parents had no idea their children were watching such disturbing material. I found footage of one of the most controversial episodes, and it is extremely disturbing.
Did you know there was a banned episode of Ren and Stimpy? The episode is called Man's Best Friend and opens with Ren and Stimpy up for adoption at a pet store. They're adopted by a man named George Liquor, who brings them back to his house to train them to be the best pets possible. He does this through various training exercises, which are really just him psychologically abusing the pair. First, he forces them to use the bathroom on a newspaper, then makes them get on his couch just so he can punish them. Stimpy excels at the tasks and is rewarded with lawn cigars, but Ren has a hard time adjusting. The final test is to show they can protect their owner by attacking George while he's wearing a bodysuit. Stimpy refuses, but Ren is more than happy to take out his repressed anger on the abusive owner, beating him to a pulp. Due to the excessive violence during this scene and the previous tobacco use, the episode was quickly banned from airing on Nickelodeon. And honestly, it was a good call.
The episode shows Ren going completely crazy and attacking other characters in ways that would give kids nightmares. The violence was so graphic that Nickelodeon had to remove it from their schedule forever. What makes this even more scary is that this cartoon was specifically designed to trick parents. It looked colorful and fun from the outside, but inside it contained psychological abuse and mean-spirited content disguised as comedy. Many children who watched this show had no idea they were being exposed to content that could seriously mess with their minds. The next cartoon we will talk about is Cow and Chicken. This show was one of Cartoon Network's most popular cartoons, but it had a very dark secret. While the show seemed silly and harmless, it was actually packed with inappropriate adult jokes that flew right over kids' heads. The most disturbing part about Cow and Chicken is an episode called Buffalo Gals. This episode was so inappropriate that Cartoon Network banned it after just one airing. The episode contained crude sexual references and adult humor that had no business being in a kids' show. Parents were completely unaware that their children were watching content with hidden inappropriate messages. What makes this even more disturbing is that the writers deliberately put these adult jokes in the show, knowing that kids would be watching. They thought it was funny to sneak inappropriate content past parents and censors. This episode was so bad that it has never been shown on television again. I was able to find some clips from this banned episode, but they are so inappropriate that I can't show them in this video. Just know that the content was completely unsuitable for children and contained references that would shock most parents today. The scary truth is that many cartoon creators in the 1990s thought it was acceptable to put adult content in children's shows. They believed they could get away with it because parents weren't paying close attention to what their kids were watching. This next cartoon is called Rocko's Modern Life, and it might be the most inappropriate kids show ever made. While it looked like a fun cartoon about a wallaby, it was actually filled with adult themes that were completely over children's heads. Rocko's Modern Life dealt with themes of depression, adult life problems, and cynicism. The show was essentially about the struggles of adult life, but it was marketed directly to children. Many episodes contained references to adult situations that kids should never be exposed to. The most disturbing part is that this show attracted a huge following among children who had no idea what they were really watching. Parents thought it was just another harmless cartoon, but the content was actually designed for adults. I found some evidence of just how inappropriate this show really was, and it will shock you.
Did you know there are multiple banned episodes of Rocko's Modern Life? One of the episodes is called Hef in a Handbasket and opens with Heifer, Rocco, and Filbert watching a game show. Heifer wishes he could compete on a game show himself, which catches the attention of Peaches, who is basically the Grim Reaper. Peaches has been demanded by the Dark Underlord to bring a mortal soul to the underworld. He devises a plan and tricks Heifer into signing his soul away to win a game show. Peaches brings Hef to the show 666, where all he has to do is score 666 points to win a trip to you-know-where. After multiple games, Heifer finally manages to get an answer right and is sentenced to eternity in heck. Luckily, Heifer's grandma is already there and throws a tantrum, refusing to spend eternity with her grandson. Peaches relents and returns Heifer to the living world. Unfortunately, due to themes of hell and Heifer selling his soul, the episode was banned by Nickelodeon. Thankfully, it was re-aired years later and can currently be found on streaming services.
Looks boring. Yeah.
The creators openly admitted that they were trying to sneak adult content past censors and parents. They thought it was clever to hide inappropriate messages in what appeared to be innocent children's entertainment. What makes all of these cartoons even more scary is that they were specifically designed to look safe for kids. The creators knew that if parents saw what was really inside these shows, they would never let their kids watch them, so they made the characters look cute and colorful to fool everyone. Johnny Bravo is another forgotten cartoon that should never have been shown to children. This show was basically about a grown man trying to pick up women all the time. The main character was constantly hitting on girls and making inappropriate comments. This is literally a show about a predator that was marketed to kids, which is absolutely terrifying. What makes Johnny Bravo even worse is that kids who watched this show thought this behavior was normal and funny. Many children learned that it was okay to bother women and act inappropriately because their favorite cartoon character did it. This show taught terrible lessons to an entire generation of kids. I cannot believe that parents let their children watch a show where the main plot was literally about an adult man chasing after women. This should have been an immediate red flag, but somehow it aired for years without anyone stopping it. Cat Dog is probably the most violent cartoon that was ever made for children. This show contained scenes where characters were skinned alive and had graphic death threats. One episode showed a bunny mounting Cat Dog's head on his wall like a hunting trophy. Another episode had an armadillo threatening to kill a girl character and mount her on his wall too. Holy flip-flops. Clouds. I cannot believe this content was allowed on children's television. These scenes would give adults nightmares, let alone innocent kids who were just trying to watch cartoons after school. The violence in Cat Dog was so extreme that it makes horror movies look tame. Even more disturbing is that many of these cartoons had banned episodes that were so inappropriate they could never be shown again. Dexter's Laboratory had an episode where the characters used so much profanity that it was immediately pulled from television forever.
Did you know there was a banned Dexter's Laboratory episode? In fact, the episode never aired on Cartoon Network. It wasn't until 2013 when Adult Swim released it on YouTube. The episode was called Rude Removal. Dexter created a machine that allowed him to split himself into a polite and rude version of himself, and he used the machine on both him and Dee Dee. Their rude versions caused so much havoc that the polite versions had no choice but to trick them and get them back into the machine and morph back into one whole person. But they still had to pay for the damage they caused, as their mom came in with a bar of soap ready to scrub their tongues. And the reason this episode got banned is because the rude versions were cursing up a storm and doing the most obscene things. And while they made sure to censor the curse words, Cartoon Network felt like it was just too much to air on a TV channel dedicated to kids. Now that may not seem like enough to get the episode banned, but the title card just might have been enough to push executives over the edge.
SpongeBob had an episode where the characters broke into a woman's house and stole her underwear, which was banned in 2018.
Did you know there's a recently banned episode of SpongeBob SquarePants? The episode is called Midlife Crustacean, and there's a good chance you've seen it. The episode follows Mr. Krabs going through a midlife crisis, where he's constantly reminded of how old he's become. During the episode, Mr. Krabs links up with SpongeBob and Patrick in hopes of doing something exciting to prove he's not as old as everyone thinks. Unfortunately, their idea of an exciting night is going to the laundromat to watch the clothes spin, and various other lame ideas. Mr. Krabs almost ditches the pair until he's lured back in with the promise of a panty raid. SpongeBob and Patrick bring him to their go-to panty raid house, where Mr. Krabs gets exactly what he's looking for: panties. But not just any panties, his mother's panties. If being caught stealing your mother's panties wasn't punishment enough, the episode itself was last shown in 2018 and confirmed to be banned in 2021 due to the panty raid scene and the ideas it may give young viewers.
The scary truth is that there are probably hundreds of banned cartoon episodes that contain content so disturbing that they will never see the light of day again. These episodes were so inappropriate that even the Cartoon Networks realized they had gone too far. What makes this situation even more terrifying is that millions of children watch these shows without their parents knowing what was really inside them. These cartoons shaped an entire generation of kids and exposed them to violence, inappropriate content, and disturbing messages that could affect them for life. Clouds. I highly recommend that you stay away from these forgotten cartoons. Even if you find old episodes online, please do not watch them. These shows were designed to corrupt young minds and fill them with inappropriate ideas. If you ever become a parent, make sure you research every cartoon before letting your kids watch it. The creators of these shows should be ashamed of themselves for deliberately putting harmful content in children's programming. They knew exactly what they were doing when they hid adult themes in shows that looked innocent from the outside. Remember to always be careful about what cartoons you watch. Clouds. Just because something looks fun and colorful doesn't mean it's safe. These forgotten cartoons prove that some of the most dangerous content can be hidden in the most innocent-looking packages. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay safe. By spreading awareness about these disturbing cartoons, we can protect future generations of kids from being exposed to content they should never see.